Okay, welcome to episode 9, Rogue Legacy with YappingEevee.
Hey there, everyone.
You're the first good class I've had in a while.
Yeah, it looks like I really lucked out with those traits.
O.C.D gives you 1 mana back every time you break anything, and there's lots of stuff to break.
Certainly. And then Eidetic Memory is where you can see the enemies on the mini-map, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not too huge of an upgrade, but it's certainly better than a bad trait.
Look at it this way, you could have CIP.
I'm shopping. I got lots of money to blow finally. Get me another Vampirism Ruin. Because the next boss is one that has many components.
Can't go wrong with vampirism.
There's some stats.
All of the health upgrade.
Yeah, that's usually where my points go. I don't have that much damage, but that sword is good enough to make up for it.
And you're a hokage, so...
Yeah. This is a huge improvement over the last freaking thing I was trying to play.
Yeah, you... Compared to the way that I try and play this, you're really twitchy. You know what I mean?
I love this class. You play a hokage, you gotta fly. I wonder if I ever use the skill. I don't think I do. I don't even remember I have. I usually don't upgrade these guys past Shinobi. Oops.
This room. This is probably one of the more doable fairy chest rooms.
It takes a while for me to get down there safely.
Yeah, but at least it's not one that, you know, if you didn't come in here with axe, you certainly can't do it, you know, like some of the rooms are.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of those. There's one where you have to have the scythe or Crowstorm to do.
I think you've seen the one that requires flame barrier? I can't remember.
I'll be heading straight to the darkness on this guy.
Hey, why
I'm
not?
not intimidated. I got enough power. It's the next logical place to go.
I was astounded that, you know what you're doing, so you can actually go there at level 44, whereas when I was doing this last week, I was something like 170 or...
I'm a little thrown off by my level, because usually level 44 means I have spent like 5 skills on classes and 30 on strength. Which now it's the opposite, so I'm a lot weaker than I'm used to being, but I do have a sword that I'm not used to having, so my strength balances out at least.
I'm sure you'll manage.
This is guy in my way. This is a really stupid room.
Yeah. There's one like this in the castle where it can spawn one of those portraits right in that gap. And it's just a pain in the butt if you're no good at down attacks.
That's a stupid room too, it's just empty. So the darkness is full of these gigantic rooms of spikes and guys everywhere. Or it's a narrow corridor with guys that shoot way too much. That's usually the two things you get down here.
Yeah, some of the rooms in here can just get ridiculous with the amount of projectiles coming at you from all directions. Then you got the earth mages as well. Just a nightmare.
Maybe there's no difference between the quadrants and I just noticed these rooms because they're so damn annoying down here. But that's what it feels like. I mean, I have seen this room in the castle.
I think it does appear in the castle, but it's not quite as vicious because, you know, you've got a lot weaker mages and everything.
Here we have the upgraded slimes.
Oh yeah.
The nice thing about them is every small one gives you health back, but they leave fire when they jump.
That leaving fire when they jump is a really weird decision. I'm not quite sure what the logic is there. Oh, god damn it.
There's 2 items left to get from that shrine before I can call this a complete LP. I need to find them, and I keep having to check every statue. I'm missing the compass and the Hyperion's ring.
Oh yeah, I've found the compass once, and I think Hyperion's ring I actually found twice, but didn't get to use much use out of it.
It is pretty hard to see down here.
It's not that bad.
There's a dwarf passage up there. I didn't even notice until that slime jumped into it.
It's not that bad. It's certainly not, you know, the Splunker's headlamp doesn't really do anything, does it?
It gives your little circle of light a little bit more depth. That's the only function it seems to have, is it only does that down here.
The Splunker's other thing is a hell of a lot more useful, where you can see all that stuff on the minimap.
People were saying to me that I was wrong about Hedgehog's Curse and it had some benefit if you had gold up skills, but that does not seem to be the case.
Yeah, it seems to be rather than dropping 500 gold, you're dropping 50 coins, which are now worth 600.
It tells you exactly how much you lose, and it updated that information from 500 to 600 ever since I got my 2 coin upgrades.
From what I've seen, the developers seem to have been pretty good about patching out any glitches and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was looking in the patch history for when that would have been a thing, and I couldn't find it, so I don't know if it was ever true or not.
The mysteries of Rogue Legacy. Well, things have gone pretty smoothly so far, aside from Hedgehog's Curse.
That knight right there, he does more damage than just about any enemy in the game.
Yeah.
You don't want to let this big sword guys hit you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that he would do about 120 damage or something at this point.
Whoa.
Oh, hey, the journal entries.
Yeah, I'm a bit ahead of those now.
Wonder how that's going to work. You know, if you don't get all of them before the end of the game, you just sort of miss out on the plot.
No, they dump them all into the log in the front of the castle. All 25 of them.
Okay.
Which most likely is going to happen. Because they don't give me enough journals for me to find 25. Hey, hello.
Whereas I was doing this for so long, I kept coming across them, and if you haven't gotten to where they'll allow you to read the 25th journal, there'll only be 24 in the log even as you come across new ones in the castle.
That guy, that zombie that was big and yellow, was the tier 3 zombie. He has no knockback, he just pops up and scares the shit out of you. He has a lot of health and you just have to jump over him. And sometimes you can't do that.
Oh, bad room.
Yeah, that was... I'm collecting health because I'm scared of Herodotus. He's the next boss and I've always considered him the hard part of the game.
That horse got stuck by the door. I'm not sure what's with those horse enemies. Their pathing seems to be a little bit weird.
They do that sometimes. It's just something that needs fixed, I think. Let's check out this boss.
He's a slime. How bad can he be?
Surprisingly bad, because he's made out of lizards. Every time you split him, an earth mage appears.
And then the fun begins.
Now I'm strong enough, just barely, to kill everything here in 2 hits, which helps quite a bit.
Yeah, the time I actually managed to beat Herodotus, I had an archmage with flame barrier. I stood on this left platform and just the enemies disappeared.
Yeah, there are solutions that make this an easy fight, but when you're
when you're this level,
not having access to that stuff, it's really hard.
Yeah, this level, Hokage.
There's 3 ways to take damage here. The slimes running into you, they are unpredictable as hell. They run all over the place.
Absolutely.
They jump just high enough to go through that platforms. Then there's the spikes on the floor.
Yep.
And then there's the earth mages. So I was talking about having pad with that archmage being here. It would have been nice because one of those 3 things would have been disabled.
Mm-hmm.
But for all my bullshitting, it doesn't look like this boss is even going to lay a hand on me.
Damn.
I just have too much strength.
No wonder you're the one running the LP.
Being able to 2-shot those mobs helps a lot. Usually that's not the case when I go in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes really, really hectic when there's a bunch of wizards that need taken out. Now that those 4 are dead, we have unlocked the boss room. And we have unlocked all 25 journals at the end of this, so I'm gonna have to just dump them all into the thread.
This area looks strangely familiar.
Oh yeah, this is a nice callback to the tutorial. They even left the instructions are up.
At least you don't have the nostalgia filter on it anymore.
It would have been hard as hell to see in the darkness with that.
Hey, title drop.
Yeah. So the plot of this game essentially is that the king has been killed by his son, who found out that he was using the fountain to survive forever, and he sold out the kingdom to get into the castle to get it. This boss, some people seem to have trouble with. He is unpredictable. He has 3 attacks, and he is just running all over the place. With a Hokage, I move fast enough to hit him like that and get away before he can counter. I think his most dangerous thing is his normal sword attack.
Mm-hmm. I do like the fact that, he's a member of your line, so all of his attacks are just souped up versions of yours.
He drops his Guardian Blade things, and they just stay there forever. He throws 5 axes and daggers, and that's all he can do. But he does do a lot of damage. He takes a decent amount of hits. Game's not over yet.
He's a final boss. When does a final boss have only one form?
This guy, I think, is easier than his first form.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
He's a little weird with his walking back and forth, but there's only 3 attacks again, and they're not too bad. One of them is a little harder than the rest. Ooh, my mistake there was not being low enough to the ground to see those coming up.
Mm-hmm.
He's already half dead.
Yeah.
Here's his heart attack. These daggers can be really painful to dodge.
Yeah, especially if you're too far away to see them spawn. And then I think there's also the normal sword slash and the other one, which hasn't used yet.
Yeah, he's got a 3rd attack he hasn't pulled out. Oh no!
Ooh.
Oh,
And I thought I was going all the way.
that's a shame. Ran right into that stupid sword. In the previous versions of this game, you could do a glitch here, where you could jump through that platform, take damage from the spikes, and then you could move while this cutscene played and totally annihilate this boss.
Gee, I wonder why they patched that.
Yeah, this is one of the first things that they patched. I did a speedrun of this game that revolved around this being one of the core things that had to be done. I mean, I killed the boss second. And here I am going to prove that the Hedgehog's Curse does not do anything. I've got a Spelunker that gets 25 gold off of every coin.
Yeah, Must be just number of coins rather than amount of gold.
Yeah, 19901, 19901. And there it is again, 600 and that classic idiotic death.
What can you do?